cannot pick up leg 59. Now Prime starts that trouble. He's going to find himself in trouble if he doesn't pressure Phil Taylor's throw.
Somebody wouldn't even let other people see it.
Oh, well, you look great.
Facing
Crawford.
His Red Sox debut, third strikeout of the day. Leads a tying run stranded in second to the eighth now. It's 2 out. David Ortiz, 1 home run in April last year. Remember the big cough, slump, maybe getting cut. Well, he tied that mark already. 1 swing off Darren Oliver. 350th career jack, 81st all-time now. Right, Chili Davis. The bottom of the credit.
Career safety is Goodyear. Visit highsports.com/Goodyear.
Now bringing a couple, the Rangers.
Right now at home, it's 3-2 versus Rangers of Jewett Cullis.
Softball score between the White Sox and Indians. Snowy conditions in Cleveland. Ozzie Guillen comes decision to open the year in Cleveland. Stupid. The snow, however, was cleared before the game. The Indians honored the Hall of Famer Bob Feller, who passed away on December 15th last year. His wife Ann placing the ball on the pitcher's mound at Red Box. Keep pitching. And Feller went through a no-hitter on opening day. Nice touch there by the Indians to honor the Hall of Famer Bob Feller. Adam Dunn very good in his debut. 2 for 4 ribs, 2 score. He unloads off Carmona. White Sox up 4-0. Last player with at least 4 RBIs in his Sox debut, Al Zarilla, 1951. And then
Good morning, San Francisco. It's 7 a.m. and it's a beautiful day. The sun's shining, and it's going to be like this all week.
Always on my team every year. And today,
I know you're tired. Just 5 more minutes in bed. Come on. Get up. Get out there. Because I'm telling you, today's going to be a great day.
First pitcher since Hall of Famer
Full batting means a simple online tool.
First game of the season. When did that?
You set your savings goals.
Still heading on
Link to your savings account.
Boston, Johnny Damon, Manny Ramirez,
shows your progress.
in Tampa.
Every time you log on to online banking, helping you save more easily.
Also coming up at odds over who will win tomorrow's big revenge game, Kentucky versus UConn. Why Nick Vitale and Jay Billis do not agree on the winner. And the race to the NBA East is red hot. See if anyone will be kicking themselves after what happened tonight. Bulls, Celtics. Got it.
The Masters, like never before. Now in amazing 3D. Strengthen your Sky Plus HD box. The Masters, like never before.
Tonight, live Premier League darts at 7 HD1. Tomorrow, live Super League, Leeds Wigan at 7:30, also HD1. And live football, Peterborough Bournemouth at 7:30, HD2.
For 20 years, the home of sport.
Well, Shirley got the right tool to get the job done properly.
So let's take a look at the tail of the tape for Andre Berto and Luis Collazo. Berto, 25 years old, different than hard lane, both fighters 47-pound weight limit. Collazo rehydrated 55 pounds. Berto added 14 pounds in rehydration to 160 pounds. Time for the rules with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Andre Berto Luis Collazo fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the Unified Rules of the Association of Boxing Commission. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. A case occurs caused by an accidental headbutt. We go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 12th and final round. Bob!
All right, Harold, we're set for the main event. There is 27-year-old Luis Collazo of New York, a former belt holder. Won the title in 2005 against Jose Rivera in a split decision, had 1 defense. Max, when he stepped up in class, against the Ricky Hatton and the Shane Mosley. He's come up short, but in that Mosley fight, in a Hatton fight, he showed everybody that he was qualified to be in this position.
Most observers feel that he was ripped off against Ricky Hatton, that Collazo was the guy who deserved the decision. This was leading for Ricky Hatton up to a mega fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr., and the sense was in boxing after this fight that Collazo would really have to whip Hatton thoroughly to not get ripped off.
In the Mosley fight, in round number 2, he suffered an injury to the thumb on his left hand. He really was just saying that.
Explained after the fight why Collazo had such a disappointing effort against Mosley after those first couple of rounds. He needed surgery on the hand. It appears to be a legitimate reason for his substandard performance against Mosley.
And he told us that no problems at all with the hand, Lennox. The injury is not a factor. He's taken off. He's come back with 2 wins since then, and really has acquired confidence about him.
You know, I asked him when we were talking, how does he feel that his hand's doing? He said his hand's doing well, but I said, how did you test it? He said, well, he's tested it in sparring and in different things in the bag. So we're going to have to see tonight if it's really healed properly.
Took a little bit of different training regimen. He went down to South Carolina and trained at the Fort Jackson Army base. Said it was just too cold in the Poconos, one of your favorite spots. I wanted to go where the weather was a little warmer, so it didn't take me so long to warm up.
Well, usually the light guys like to go in hot places because they usually have weight problems, and it's harder to train in cold weather because you have to, stay warm. Then you have to work twice as hard to get a sweat. Then you have to work even harder to even lose weight. So that's the reason they actually train in a warm climate this time.
He says he's got a real edge too on him because he trained right through the holidays. He hasn't seen his daughter, 6-year-old daughter Kayla, right through the holidays. So he said, I'm as hungry as you're ever going to be, putting myself through that. Well, he's got to deal with Andre Berto, 23-0 with 19 knockouts. Max, we saw him on Boxing After Dark in June against Miguel Rodriguez. He landed 63% of his power shots. He looked awesome that night.
Yeah, and you see he does things, you'll see here, that other fighters simply, you can't teach that. The right hand and then that uppercut, you can't teach that kind of speed. As a result of his athletic gifts, he's able to do things other fighters simply can't do, and he's coupled those gifts with a deep and successful amateur background on the highest level and good professional development thus far, including a come-off-the-floor victory against Cosme Rivera and a tough back-and-forth fight with a solid David Estrada.
Last fought on September the 27th. Won a 12-round decision against Steve Forbes. Says he was in great shape, Lennox, but he didn't fuel his body the right way. And he says he fixed that as part of his game.
In boxing, everybody watches the last day when it really counts. And if you don't do things to prepare for that last day, like eat the right foods, put the right things in your body, so when later on you go in the ring and you fight, it's very important. You have to rehydrate as well. Make sure you have enough water in your body as well. And that's one thing. It's a learning process. He's still young, so I'm sure that didn't happen in this fight.
When I asked him about personality, he said, from the dressing room to the ring, my smile goes from the heart of a happy personality to a beast when I get in the ring. Will he be a beast tonight against a guy who's tough in his own right, Luis Collazo? Time for the introductions. Here's our ring announcer for the evening, Joe Antonacci.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino in Biloxi, Mississippi, DeBella Entertainment, in association with Don King Productions, the Mississippi Gulf Coast Convention and Visitors Bureau, Silver Star Casting Company, and Azad Watches present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Our judges for this championship bout, Bill Clancy, Larry Engel, and Gary Ritter, and our referee for this championship bout, Keith Hughes. Introducing first in the blue corner, your challenger. Tonight he comes to us from Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 145 pounds. Gold trunks, blue trim. Professional record, 29 victories, 3 defeats, 14 knockouts. Please welcome the former welterweight world champion, Louis Collazo. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He comes to us tonight from Winter Haven, Florida. He also weighed in at 146 pounds. Green trunks, white trim. Perfect professional record, 23 victories. No defeats. 19 knockouts. Please welcome the reigning and defending WBC welterweight champion of the world, Andre Berto. Our referee Keith Hughes has our instructions.
All right, fighters, I've already given you instructions in the dressing room. I'll remind you to listen to me at all times. Understand? Shake hands, come out the bell. Good luck.
Given Floyd Mayweather's retirement, or at least inactivity, Oscar De La Hoya and Roy Jones's decline, there's a vacuum at the top of the American boxing landscape. Will Andre Berto fill it, or can Luis Collazo thwart him?
12 rounds to make that determination here tonight in Biloxi. Andre Berto and Luis Collazo, 147 pounds. A little bit of a delay as the officials get out of the ring, and Keith Hughes, the referee, will get this underway. Andre Berto begins the 100th round professionally of his career. Collazo the 183rd. Lennox, Berto is the one with the better hand speed. We know that going in. What does Collazo have to do to negate that?
Well, Collazo has to set traps and make sure he doesn't get hit and overwhelmed by the speed. Right now, he hasn't been hit by anything, so he doesn't have anything to get worried about. But right now, you know, they're testing each other out. They don't know each other. Obviously, Berto realizes that Collazo has a lot of experience, so he doesn't want to put himself out front too quick.
Berto has supreme confidence in his ability. He says, I'll see how the fight's going, and then I'll make my adjustments according to what Collazo is bringing, because he can fight. Oh, left hand staggers Berto!
In that situation, Berto was off balance. But it was a good left hand by Collazo.
Berto got hurt in round number 1 against David Estrada. Got dropped by Pop in 2007 in the first round.
Nobody's safe in this welterweight division, because to get to the very top, you have to go through fighters like Luis Collazo, who's not lying down for anyone.
Berto has shown the ability to bounce back from these rough starts.
Stop! Watch it behind the head.
See, in this situation, Berto's doing the right thing by holding. You know, some boxers elect to move around as well. That you know, until their head clears. But you know, Berto got over the shock of that good left hand by Collazo.
Compared to Andre Berto, Collazo and most fighters are physically ordinary.
Good counter right hand by Berto. Catches the attention of Collazo.
Collazo's trying to counteract.
Oh, Collazo hit right combination by Berto, and Collazo holds on.
He's trying to counteract these physical gifts Berto brings with timing. Not always possible. That's how fast Berto is.
Both men have had their moments here in round number 1. Collazo back on the attack. Shoots the left to the body.
No punching. Step back. Come on, guys. Come on. Let him go, Berto. 10 seconds.
You know, it's very evident that both fighters can hit each other with their power punch, so it's evident to see